What's going on there, folks? Good afternoon, good evening. It is the Earthmaster out here on this beautiful Thursday, May 4th, 2023. It is about 3:15 West Coast time, but I am out here in the Central time zone, currently in Texas right now at 5:15, 5:16 now in the afternoon. Got a few thunderstorms popping up here around the area, which we're going to be covering. But taking a look here at earthquake activity, I haven't done an update yet today. That's kind of why I'm doing one now. And the live stream is down suspiciously. As soon as I leave my house early in the morning, the live stream goes down. It's really odd, folks. So I am in the process of getting someone to fix that for me, since I'm not at the home base currently. All right, looking at the earthquake 3D globe here. Not my standard earthquake 3D globe, but still shows the earthquake activity over the last 24 hours, EMSC and also the USGS, showing some of that movement here. But I think we're going to stick with the USGS here for now. Seeing quite a bit of activity ramping up here along the Kermadec Trench, Kermadec Islands, and up into the Tonga area with the latest quake here at 4.9. Pretty shallow here at about 9 kilometers. Aside from that, some movement earlier this morning, again along the Kermadec Trench, some deeper activity there. So watch this region. I know New Zealand's been seeing a pretty good earthquake uptick here recently. Looks like some of that activity is showing up here across the EMSC globe, but it's definitely been having some activity around the Taupo supervolcano. All right, moving on here, a little bit of activity across the western edge here of the Philippine plate. That includes areas around the Philippines. And latest quake looks like a 4.6 into the Taiwan area, 14 kilometers deep. Earlier this morning, some movement north of Manila. Over here around the rest of the world, fairly quiet, not a whole lot of activity kicking up here across the region. Looking at the earthquake 3D globe here, shows some of that movement across the area of the Mediterranean, mostly smaller quakes, including a 2.5. Looks like that's coming in currently as we speak. Very small earthquake into that region. I'm just kind of turning down the rings a little bit. They were looking a little on the odd side. 4.4 up here in the Iceland area. Looks like that one is an older movement quake though. Let me double check here. See what we have from the USGS. It looks like a slight swarm from earlier this morning, about 2 o'clock, 4.4 and a 4.5, 10 kilometers deep, and kind of looks like it's situated here on the southern coast around this volcano. Continue to watch that for any further uptick. All right, let's see what else we have across the Alaska region. Some movement across the Aleutian Trench. West Coast activity. Southern California lighten up slightly. As far as the swarming goes, it looks like it's died off here for the most part down into the Southern California region. Not a whole lot popping off there. Most of the activity in the very small microquake department range. I look at the 2.5 map and above. Hardly does any justice for that level. In fact, nothing showing up out here along the west coast for 2.5 and above. I was flying over Arizona and New Mexico earlier today, and seen massive amounts of pumping operations out there from the air. Pretty crazy what you would see out there. A lot of older ones, a lot of newer ones as well. And this area around New Mexico and western Texas has been seeing a little bit of earthquake activity out there in those oil fields. All right, Oklahoma region, some smaller earthquake activity. Nothing major going on here across the states for now. And just looking here at the USGS map, looks somewhat minimal across the main areas of the globe. Let's see what we got for the largest magnitude. That was at 5.4 here in the Philippines. Aside from that, just very scattered earthquake activity across the this beautiful planet we live on. So, yeah. All right. Looking at the Yellowstone overview, I find this kind of odd that this wants to work perfectly here on this computer when I'm away from my home base station. I find that a little suspicious. So I'm going to do a little bit digging around here about this website. I'm not for sure, but If you've been watching my update videos, you'll know that it's been hanging up every time I try to access this site on my computer. So I don't know, it's a little fishy. But here on this computer, totally different IP address, and obviously a different state here in Texas. It wants to work perfectly. So I don't know. Maybe they got it back up. It does say back to business as usual-ish. And but I think that's been up there for a little while. So either way, just a little suspicious. All right, let's see what we got here for space weather. That's been a fairly active topic here. Here is the latest magnetic structure of the sunspots, showing, well, it's very active. There's quite a few sunspots here coming off the eastern limb of the sun. That is going to be in the Earth-directed view in the coming days. And quite a few of these regions here pose a threat for some larger flares. Looks like the current threat right now is a 99% chance for a C flare, M flare at 55, X flare remains elevated at 15. And earlier today we did see, early this morning, we did see another M flare with a subsequent CME, it looks like. So things are cooking and definitely popping out there on the sun. As far as the aurora forecast goes, it looks fairly minimal though for now. There is the talk of the longer duration M3.9 solar flare this morning. It may have generated a coronal mass ejection. More details will be coming up today. And it looks like the event did produce one. However, an Earth-directed component is also likely. If so, an impact to our geomagnetic field will be possible late this weekend. So looks like we may get a little glancing blow from that CME that was produced earlier from that M flare. Again, that's all subject to change here in the coming days after review. All right, folks, real quick glance at the severe weather threat today here. I'm actually out in the middle of all this today. There is a 5% chance of a tornado risk, mostly around Wichita Falls, Texas. But general threat for some large hail exists across a big area of Texas and in the portions of Oklahoma. That goes into tonight as well. Tomorrow looks like it's a little bit on the weaker side and a little bit more further to the east here over portions of Fort Worth, Arlington area. So watch those areas tomorrow for mostly wind and hail events. 2% chance for a tornado possibility. All right, folks, I'm going to jump off here. I am going to try to work on the stream, get that up and running. Like I say, I do not like to leave it down. It was just really fishy how it all went down this morning. As soon as I left my house, it's almost like somebody's watching my surveillance cameras. And as soon as they see me leave, pack my bags, let's pull him down. Let's pull the stream down. Mess with his computer. It all seems fishy and just too much of a coincidence there to write that off as such. All right, folks, have a good one. Missy Mimi's is here. Say good night there, Missy Mimi's.
Have a good night, guys.
We'll catch you guys. Well, we're going to be doing a little bit of storm chasing out here, so occasionally we will be going live here on the channel. So if you are interested, tune in for that. Otherwise, earthquake updates will be put out tomorrow, and the earthquake 3D stream will be hopefully back up and running tonight. Take care, and we will definitely catch you guys real soon. Have a good one.